It has actually been a minute, but we are back at the top of another Savage stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in. You guys are awesome. You are all the real rock stars here. Everybody that is liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. I try to answer all the comments. I don't get a lot of them, so it's pretty easy. But whenever you do comment, I do at least try to respond. So I appreciate that. You know, we have not had a whole lot of great news in 2020 so far, but there is something that we have to talk about tonight. We are going to talk about Aeon finally updated their wallet. It has been a long time coming for this Aeon wallet upgrade. And the cool thing is that it's not just an update to like the existing wallet and like a little, cosmetic upgrade and stuff like that. This is a full revamping, and it has some very exciting, easy to use feature sets or features in the upgrade or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's like a complete revamp. So it's a whole new way of doing their wallet. So they've done a lot with the user interface and all that stuff. They have gone from literally this to this. And it's all web-based, so it is pretty slick. I like it. I like the web-based stuff, to be honest. Some don't, but this is pretty cool because you interface with ledger, keystore file, private key, or mnemonic phrase, depending on how you want to do it. The best way, obviously, is the ledger. So we're going to talk about that. We'll probably demonstrate that a little bit. They've basically gone to a complete web portal that allows like full Aeon address management, including sending, receiving, and staking, which we'll get into that also. Not like how to stake, but at least talk about that inside of the wallet. Even interacting with staking pools is inside this new wallet. It's best to use a Chromium-based browser. It was designed to work that way. It is completely web-based. There's nothing to like download or install or nothing like that. And I'm going to show you something kind of cool because you can actually use it on mobile. And the interface scales to the size of your screen on mobile, so it's actually really cool. It seems to work pretty well. You can actually use the keystore file if you can get it on your mobile device, right? Then you can actually open it from there, which is pretty neat. I was tinkering around with that before the stream. I thought that was kind of cool. There's basically 4 different ways to interact with your wallet. You got the ledger, keystore file, private key, and the mnemonic phrase. We may talk about each one a little bit. Now the pool or the website itself has a focus on staking, right? So it's one of the main focuses of this wallet interface, which is kind of nice because before there were all these separate, you had the staking interface, a separate utility, a separate program that you had to launch in order to manage all your staking stuff. Then you had your crappy wallet over here. So, eventually they did really well. They combined all these features. They did it all. I think it's neat that they've combined all these into one interface. I like that. I like that a lot. So you can see here the window, even the title of the window. I don't know if you can't really see it up there. Let me see if I can pull this down a little bit. It's actually Aeon Staking Wallet is the name of the tab. Right, so it's not just Aeon Wallet, it says Aeon Staking Wallet. So you can see how they have that focus on staking. Then there's also the All Pools link up here in the top. So if you click on that, this is not referring to mining pools. So don't get confused. This is referring to the staking pools. So you've got all the different staking pools, and these are the ones that you can interface with. And if you can see here, the status of it, the fees associated with the pool, the performance. And if you're not familiar, I think it was in November of 2019 last year, Aeon went to a hybrid proof of work, proof of stake model called Unity. And that's where you have basically, I think it's 50-50, right? So it's 50% of the blocks are proof of stake, 50% are proof of work. And I think it's, I want to say that's every other block. I can't remember if that's true or not, if that's the way it works. Let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure it's every other block. But anyway, so this is focused on that staking, the proof of stake aspect of Aeon these days. So you got whether or not the pool is active or not, the fees associated with it, the performance, and you can sort by all the different columns, well, the ones that have the little up and down arrows here. And then if you want to get some more advanced information, you can click on this little button over here, and it talks about the total amount staked, the self bond. The bond is basically what the pool has to put up to, it's like a percentage of the total stake, I think is the way it works. It allows them to stake a certain amount based on how much they have bonded, I think is the way that works. And then I believe that this is probably, I don't know what R capacity means. I believe it's like unstake, like receive, has the capacity of issuing out, you know, the staked coins in the amount of, in this case, 11.6 million. I think that's what that means. The stake weight is the percentage of the overall stake. So, you know, all these should total up to 100%, right? In the overall, the whole ecosystem. And then you got the fees and then performance again. So you can, let's see, where is Aeon pool? I don't know what else you can do. Yeah, so if you click the down arrow here, that's pretty cool. This is what I was talking about. You can kind of interact directly with the staking pools. So I thought that was really neat as well. That is a cool addition. Makes it so simple and easier to just come into one interface, my-aeon.voan.com, and just go for it. You got all of your utilities right here interfacing in one spot. I think that's super cool. Very, very good job. And then if you got the contact link over here, technical support, there's some other things in here if you want to learn staking, you know, about the staking interface, technical support, token swap back whenever they were ERC20s. If you need to get those over to the Aeon mainnet, you can use that. Report of bugs, system issue reporting and stuff like that. I think, yeah. So that is cool also. That actually opens up in a new window. And then the docs opens up in a new window also. And this is just basically like the storage location for Aeon related documents. In here, you know, you'll get really deep into the project and all the different capabilities and tools, dashboards, staking, you know, all about that kind of stuff. So if you want to really dive in, this is where you would go, is the docs. All right, so let's look at something else you can do is search, just real quickly search for an address up here. If you have a Aeon address, you want to see what's going on with it, what the total available balance or whatever is going on with it, you can just search it very quickly and easily there. All right, so before we click on the ledger, let me check the chat, see what you guys are up to over here. Yeah, I don't know where Yashnik's at. I don't know. Figured he would be here, but there's no telling. Yeah, staking Aeon's super easy. Let's kind of, maybe we'll do a little bit here. I'm going to use the ledger. I do have a ledger here, so, and I'm actually staking from it, you know, or from the address that's associated with it, or an address that's associated with it. Now, what I've noticed is whenever I do this in Brave, I'm in Brave browser now, I get those crazy little pop-ups. They go away. It takes a minute. You know, they come up and then they go away, and then everything seems to work fine. I don't get that in Chrome, like just straight up Chrome. So I think there's a setting or something. I probably have like security too high or something. So that's probably why they're coming up like that. Not a big deal. Now you can add the Aeon app to your ledger from live, Ledger Live, right? So that's what you would do first. You have to kind of do that before you start doing any of this other stuff that we're going to talk about here. I don't know why it's not connecting here. Try this again. I unlocked it, so maybe this time it'll work. There we go. All right, so this is the address that I'm typically using. You get a whole bunch of them, right? Just by default. So I'm going to click continue there, and then here is my wallet, and it shows the total Aeon in there. I believe that they're all staked. There's a staking option over here. So this is cool. Once you get into it like this, once you open up a wallet, you get home, staking, and then my transactions over here. You still have the same old links over here. Then you have the address here where you can sign out, right? Because it's kind of like, you know, it's connecting through Web 3, I guess is what you would call it. Those tools or those capabilities is what's allowing this to happen. So it's pretty neat. You know, sign out and continue. I'll continue. And then, let's see here. So you got the home, and then you got all your transactions down here also. This is where you would send and receive Aeon from and to. We can go ahead and send. Let me see here. Grab a address here. Wait, that's not right. So I have 91 in here. I'll just send 10. This actually might be the same wallet. I think it is. Yeah, it is. So I won't do that. But anyway, that's how you would send. You have advanced features here where you can speed up the transaction if you want to. This is a nice little addition too. On the Aeon network, you really don't need to worry about that at this point. It's not saturated, so transactions are pretty fast. I think they have 10-second block times, if I'm not mistaken. I think they went up to 20 or something like that, and with the Unity. I'm just completely off the top of my head there. I seem to recall that being the numbers, those being the numbers. But anyway, so you got transactions and all that stuff here. It also shows you staking, the available balance that you have to stake, the amount that you staked, and you can unstake or stake here. Let's go ahead and try this. I'm just going to click stake. I'll go to Aeon pool. I don't know how to. Okay. So I just clicked on it and it opens it up. Actually, it looks like it opens, so you don't even have to click the down arrow over here. You can click anywhere and it opens it. Stake to that pool. We'll do entire balance. Let's not do the whole thing. Let's go 80. Stake. Now it's asking for confirmation from the ledger. Okay. So you see it says amount 80. It's got the address there. So I'm just going to click the check mark. Maybe. There we go. All right. And then on the screen, it shows a misspelled successfully. Aeon successfully staked. All right. So you successfully staked 80 to Aeon pool. Got it. You can copy the transaction hash, or you can just click got it, and that's it. Now, I'm not going to be able to grab that back out of there for, I think it's 24 hours, something like that, before you can actually grab it out. So keep that in mind whenever you're staking. You know, it's not like something you can stake and unstake very quickly. I think it's 24 hours. All right. So now we staked an additional 80 on there. Eventually that will show up in here if it hasn't already. Not a big deal. Let's see here. Yeah, and then this shows like the what is currently going on. If you click on staking, because that was out of home, okay? But if you click on staking over here on the left, you can see where I'm staking. This is all pools, so if you wanted to stake with other pool, I'm going to stick with Aeon pool. And you know, there will be some that I can withdraw 247 because that's been staked for a long time, or at least you know, I've left Aeon on here forever, ever since the very first staking was available. So that's why there's some rewards there. I could withdraw them. I'm not going to though. And I just recently set up the auto stake where if I send, if there's a balance on this address, so like right here, eventually this will be, you can see it took away that 80 that I just staked. So eventually this, I think the way it'll work is this will auto stake. So this will go into here automatically, I think is the way that that works. And that was pretty easy to set up. It's just basically just click on the auto stake option over here. Now with Brave browser, I was noticing that like the first time, it all depends on what the status of the ledger is with whether or not it's going to work. Like you might have to watch it and make sure that you're in the app and that it's unlocked and all that stuff. Because as I was doing this, it was kind of a little bit quirky. I had to go back and forth between the ledger and make sure that it was set up right, and then look at this and click the right buttons on there to actually get the auto stake to work because it kept failing. So just kind of keep an eye on it, or just do it in Chrome. If you do it in Chrome, it's probably going to be fine. So just keep that kind of stuff in mind. All right, so I'm going to not disable that. Let's see here. So we've got, I think I already pretty much covered everything. I don't know. Let me know if there's any questions over there in the chat here. Yeah, this is a wallet, Cryptid Youth. It is. But it is, yeah, you know what? That is one thing. I actually was going to mention it to Yashnik. Not that he communicates with those guys pretty closely. I was going to say, hey, where's the dark mode at? Come on, guys. You know, that's like basic stuff here. And I don't see it anywhere. I don't think that it's in here just yet. So, but it is a web-based wallet only, right? So I just clicked on, yeah, there's another mistake right there, Toggle. Instead of toggle, it's Toggle, automatic reward staking. I swear these guys need a copy editor or something, I don't know. I always pick out stuff like that, like the misspellings and junk. And I'm horrible at spelling and I'm horrible at grammar, obviously, but for some reason I just automatically pick stuff like that up. I don't know why. Yeah, so yeah, not a whole lot of help there on that little help. It just basically tells you what the button does. Doesn't really help with it. But again, it was super easy. I mean, it comes up and walks you through it right here. So, I mean, I can disable it, I guess. So here's what I was talking about. So you see how it's kind of like waiting on me to do something. So on the ledger, it's saying it's needing some input here. And once that scrolls all the way across, then since I had already clicked the OK or the check mark, now it says disabled, right? So then you just say, got it, okay, great. Now it's still checked down here. I think I would maybe just click off of it, click back on it. I don't know, let's see. No. It charges you too every time. Let's see if this works. Yeah, see, the first thing it says on the ledger is warning data present is what it said. Hey, thanks, Shuby. Thanks for tuning in, man. Much appreciated, sir. All right, now it says that it is disabled. Got it. It probably just takes a while. I'm probably just being impatient. So I'll let that go, and then I'll re-enable it later. But that's basically all you do is either, you know, it's a radio button. You slide it whichever way you want. So this is enabled. Eventually, it'll say disabled. Not a big deal. And I believe, like I said, I believe that anything that goes to this address will just auto stake. I don't know how often. I don't know if it does it immediately. I'm not sure of the details of that. But basically, if it has a balance, it'll auto stake it. Okay, cool. So that is the ledger way of doing it. Also shows all the transactions, staking transactions as well. On here, again, this is super slick compared to this, right? There was no staking feature in here. You had to go to the staking interface. You had to go to this thing here, remember that? In order to interface with the staking features. So now those two things are combined into this one, and it's pretty slick. I like it. I have to give them a shout out, a kudos. They did a good job with this. Short of a couple of misspellings and stuff like that, but that's kind of pretty common in this space. There we go. We got unauto staked now. So let's go ahead and turn that back on. So again, we're back to, it says data present, amount, and that's asking about the address. So I click OK or click the check mark, and now it says auto stake enabled. Got it. So in a few seconds that'll probably switch over, and then we'll be back to where we started. All right, let's go back to the home page. I think I have to log off here or sign out. So now you could use a keystore file also. That's what this wallet uses. You can, if you need to create a keystore file, like let's say you want to use a Aeon wallet mobile, but you want to use this My Aeon, you want to use this website with a mobile phone. You can't do that with Ledger right now. I think that they're working on a way of making that happen. Maybe with the newer one, was it the Nano X, where it has Bluetooth or something? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but they made a comment. I think it was in the FAQ on the website where they were discussing potentially having that capability on mobile. But anyway, so you can use a keystore file on mobile if you can get the file, the keystore file, exported from a wallet like this, and then basically you would just unlock it, and then you would click on this little button over here. It says export keystore or save keystore. You got to choose a destination, so you would store it somewhere, right, on your hard drive. We'll just go, let's see here, maybe desktop. Throw it out there. So it's just going to throw it on the desktop. You can give it a password, right? Now, because I opened that wallet, I don't know if you have, I think you can create a different password right here. I think you can give it whatever password you want, because I'm already authenticated to the wallet. I think that's the way it works. I'm not so sure, but they, I guess it's going to populate this with whatever password you have over here. I think that's the way it works. All right. So anyway, then you would save that to the desktop, and then you would somehow get that file, that keystore file, and it looks like that. Sometimes it's called a UTC file, but it looks like that. It's going to have your address in here, some other information. Anyway, so you get this file to your mobile device, right? And what I use is I just use Google Drive. I just threw it up on Google Drive and then opened that. I ended up downloading it to my phone and then going to the website, the my-aeon.voan.com, and then actually I can probably show you. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see. Yeah, so see, it's already open here. Okay, so this is on mobile, and I open, if you look at those last 4 characters there, you can see that that's the CE78 address. So if you go back over here to what I saved right here, you can see it's CE78. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of small, but it is CE78. So that's the same address, right? So I'm actually looking at that address on my mobile phone on the website. And so let me show you what you can do here. So I'm going to sign out. All right, and then this is what I was talking about earlier, how it scales. So see how well it scales to the mobile screen, right? So it looks just like the website, except it's, you know, organized a little bit different because it's on mobile, right? All right, so if we come down here, I don't know what I clicked. Click on Ledger. See how it tells you to connect, but you can't really do that, right? All right, so we're gonna go back. I'm gonna click on keystore file. And then it wants to, well, it's got a security warning. Hey, you acknowledge that they really want you to use Ledger, right? Basically what they're saying. So continue. It says browse your computer. This is a mobile phone, but I'm still going to browse. And then, you know, it's got which options you want down here. So I'm going to choose files. Make sure it's not going to show anything crazy here. Okay, and this is actually my Google Drive. See, my drive. I'm going to see if I can actually open it from there. I don't know if I can or not. Let's find out. I'm just navigating to the file. It's just on the root there. All right, so I just clicked it. And it does have the name in there, so it looks like it might have brought it in, right? So now I'm going to throw in the password. Probably should have tested whether or not you can change it whenever you save it. I seem to recall that you can. You guys are probably yelling at me over there, saying, of course you can. All right, so once that's in there, now it does take a hot minute here to open up. I already clicked continue. And probably, I think it's a little bit faster if the file, if you save it on your actual mobile phone, right? So like right now, it's going out to Google Drive to get the keystore file. It's not a huge file or anything, but there's encryption involved because the keystore file is just basically a file that represents your private key, right? I think I clicked continue. Yeah, so we'll just keep an eye on that for a minute. All right, so it says, got a warning here. It says my password might be wrong. Well, maybe if I wasn't talking while I typed it in. Right there. Hopefully that was the correct password. I'll watch that for a minute. Then you also have the private key option. Same thing, basically, hey, you should be using Ledger. So if you have the private key, you would paste it there. And mnemonic phrase, same thing. If you have the phrase, you could plug it in there. And if you needed to get the keystore file, remember, you would do it from the desktop wallet. So you would go and download the wallet, even though you're not going to really use it other than just creating that file so that you can get it onto a mobile, for example. You know, or if you wanted to use it in this method. But, you know, I would definitely highly recommend getting a Ledger for storing your crypto. But if you want to play it unsafe, you could use a keystore file for sure. All right, so it did open up. So you can see right there. Maybe. Take a minute to white balance, I guess. And yeah, my phone's cracked. I dropped it not too long ago. But yeah, so there it is. And you can see the balance and all that stuff. So cool. So that opened from a keystore file on my Google Drive. That is, but again, you could save that file to your actual mobile phone and it would work very similar. Whenever you click on browse, you would just go and find it and open it up that way. So I think that's kind of cool. All right, let me check the chat, see what you guys are talking about over here. Yeah, good point there. Aeon Mint says using anything but a ledger with a web interface is not a great idea. Yeah, good job. Good comments there. What's up, Bitcoin Jake? Serpent, what's up, man? Jay Bohannon. Yeah, web interfaces are not not very secure. Definitely not a super secure way of managing your crypto for sure. Yeah. On that same note, yeah, I wouldn't I don't have a whole lot of Aeon in that particular keystore file. That's why I was using it as an example. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing it that way. You know, the ledger is definitely the way to go, like Aeon Mint is saying there. I didn't know the Coinomi wallet had the staking feature in there, but that's cool. That's cool. All right, so this video is 1 minute longer than I wanted it to be, but I'm back. I'll be doing videos probably every night this week. So tomorrow is the 20th, right? So tomorrow we're going to be breaking down the previous month's, profits, right, from the shared rigs and all that stuff that we do on the 20th of every month. And it's likely that we might switch over to do something else. It's been on NiceHash for a few months now, 3 or 4 months, which actually turned out to be a blessing, because whenever the profits were going crazy, it was real easy to distribute the profits because you earn it in Bitcoin, right? So it made it super easy, and I like that. But we might decide to do something else with the rigs, point them somewhere else, mine something else. Besides NiceHash. We'll see what happens, but I haven't talked to all the guys yet, so I have to talk to them and see what we can come up with. There's no telling. I kind of want to put them on something else just to get a little bit of content out there, right? So for the channel, but that's not really the whole focus of the shared rigs. The focus of the shared rigs is to make profit, right? So we'll see. What's up, John Germain? All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. It's way too long. This has been way too long. All right, guys. Hopefully you got something out of this video. If you did, it's about time that Aeon got this wallet updated. I'm so happy. I'm excited. I think it's very cool. Use a ledger only, and there you go. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night. Everybody stay savage. See you tomorrow.